So our first win here at Stamford Bridge for almost 10 years. The disappointment of Villarreal now a distant memory. This is the Chelsea versus Arsenal match review. Hello, my name is Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over again. In this video, I'm going to look back on last night's 1-0 victory here at Stamford Bridge. Our first victory here at Chelsea for almost 10 years. Can you believe that? Since that Robin van Persie hat-trick in 2011. I'm going to look at the team lineups. I'm going to analyse the performance. I'm going to select a man of the match. And I'm also going to look at Mikel Arteta's rather bizarre post-match interview. Just before I do all that, I want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you do enjoy what I do, you like some different Arsenal content, I also look at the history of the club. Please click on the subscribe button down in the corner there. It is free of charge. It just helps the channel reach a larger audience. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like as well. Share the content around. And if you've got any comments at all about last night's performance, the team lineup, and indeed Arteta's comments after the game, please drop me in the box below, as I do love to hear from you guys as well. So in the end then, Mikel Arteta made 6 changes to the side that had beaten West Bromwich Albion 3-1 at the weekend, and it was a change of system as well to match up to Chelsea. So we actually played 3 at the back. First time that Mikel Arteta has started with a 3 at the back for quite a long time. So this was how we lined up then. It burnt Leno in goal. Again, I was a little bit surprised Matt Ryan didn't get a start, especially as there's rumours that Leno wants to leave the club at the end of the season, but he got the nod in this game again. The back three then, it was Rob Holding was on the right of the 3, Pablo Mari in the centre, and Gabriel on the left. Of course, the first time that Mari and Gabriel, the 2 left footers, have started in the defence for Arsenal, not in a back 4, they'll be in a back 3. In midfield then, it was Saka was the right wing back, Tierney was in at the left wing back, and then it was El Nene and Partey with a shield in front of the defence. And then in the front 3, it was Odegaard and Smith Rowe, and they were behind Aubameyang through the middle. So that was the Arsenal lineup. I say 6 changes from the weekend. For Chelsea then, they actually made 7 changes from their side that had won 2-1 at Manchester City in their previous game. So they started with it was Kepa in goal and replacing Mendy. Their back 3 was Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva and Zuma, of course, with an injury to Christensen. On their midfield, you had Reece James was on the right, Chilwell on the left, and in the middle it was Gilmour and Jorginho. And their front 3, it was Mount, Pulisic and Havertz. So no recognised centre forward for Chelsea. So that were your lineups for this game. So you can't really say too much about the Arsenal performance. It was certainly a smash and grab win, wasn't it? We got gifted the early goal after just 16 minutes. Terrible back pass it was from Jorginho. Kepa managed to scramble back and get the ball clear, but Aubameyang pulled it back to Smith Rowe to tap in. He nearly missed it actually. He didn't get hold of the shot particularly well. It kind of bobbled in off the far post, but in it went, and that's his 2nd Premier League goal in consecutive games, having previously not scored one in the Premier League at all. So a good run for him, but there's no denying that we were fortunate to be given that goal. And let's face it, that was pretty much the only attack that we managed to muster in the game. We only had 2 shots on target, just 1 corner in the whole 90 minutes. Chelsea dominated possession, nearly 70% possession. They had chance after chance, and they couldn't score. A lot of credit has to go to Bernd Leno. I thought in the first half he made 2 or 3 good saves, didn't he, when he was needed, and then very late on in the game he made a great save, didn't he, from Kurt Zouma's header, push it onto the crossbar before substitute Olivier Giroud follow up hit the crossbar as well. So we were maybe a little bit fortunate over the 90 minutes to win this game, but sometimes that's what you need. From an attacking point of view, we were very disappointing. Aubameyang never got in the game at all, did he? He barely got a kick. Apart from setting up the goal, after that he contributed very little. Not his fault, he wasn't getting any service. You could see how disappointed disappointed he was when he got taken off. The way he was sitting on the bench there looking very sorry for himself after he'd been substituted, I was a little bit concerned about that. Are there other issues going on? Yes, it wasn't his night, but we were winning away at Chelsea, and surely that's got to be seen as a positive. And it's another good victory, isn't it, away from home at one of the big sides. Of course, we hadn't won away at Manchester United for a number of years. We won there earlier this season, and now we've won away at Chelsea for the first time in 10 years, which is, of course, fantastic. But I think the nature of this victory, we need to keep our feet on the ground. It was far from a convincing performance. And on another night, Chelsea could easily have scored 4 or 5 goals, We did get a little bit lucky, but ultimately, we probably deserved that luck for the dogged defending that we did for the whole game. The three at the back system seemed to work quite well. I thought Mari and Gabriel overall were pretty solid, actually. I say we've been waiting to see them play together. I still like to see how that works in a back four, but certainly in the three, it looked good, didn't it? And even Rob Holding seemed to look a lot more assured in this system. The only player maybe it didn't really suit was Bukayo Saka as right wing back. He got caught out a few times defensively, didn't he? And in the end, he was the first player to be substituted for Hector Bellerin midway through the second half. Chelsea did score, of course, what they thought was an equaliser when Pulisic headed home from close range, but there was no doubt he was at least 6 yards offside, quite wide. The linesman hadn't flagged for it, and it had to go to VAR. Is a mystery, but it was rightly disallowed. And I say they did hit the woodwork late on, Chelsea, so we were maybe fortunate to get the win, but get the win we did, and we brought to an end another poor record away at one of the big six. So man of the match then, I mean, it wasn't a great performance, as I said, and certainly none of the attacking players are going to probably feature too much. I thought defensively, I said we looked good. I thought Holding was assured at the back. Mari and Gabriel both played pretty well, apart from one mistake early on, which allowed Havertz to run through at goal, which he then fired over the top. I thought in midfield, El Neni and Partey did a really good job. It's probably Partey's best game for a long time, actually. I thought he gave the defence a lot of protection. His passing was slightly better last night, and I thought overall he played well. El Neni gave an El Neni performance, didn't he? He gave everything. He worked hard, and he did a good job protecting the defence. For Tierney and Saka, then it probably wasn't their best game for either of them, was it? I'm still not sure how fit Tierney actually is. He seemed to be struggling a little bit at times, and Saka, I say defensively, he was caught out on one or two occasions. It wasn't his best game either. And so in the front three never really got much chance to influence this game, did they? I thought they worked hard defensively. Ødegaard and Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe showed some great quality, got his goal as well. He had a decent game. Aubameyang never really got into it, did he? Apart from the assist for the goal, which was a gift anyway, wasn't it? He didn't really contribute anything at all. So it was a difficult game for the front players last night. It was all about the defence. So for me, the man of the match actually has to go to the man behind them, Bernd Leno. He's coming for a lot of criticism this season, and probably rightly so. He's not had his best season, has he? He's been very inconsistent. He's made some terrible mistakes, and I don't know whether the whole pressure of the Martinez situation has got to him, but he's certainly not had a very good season. But last night, he was very, very good. I say he made 2 or 3 good saves in the first half to keep us in front, and then very late on as well, he made a crucial save to tip that header onto the bar. So overall, he made a really good contribution. For the rest of the game, he looked solid. He dealt well with the crosses. His distribution was pretty good as well. So overall, for me, the man of the match last night has to go to Bernd Leno. So now we come on to probably the most interesting part of the night, actually, from an Arsenal point of view, which was Mikel Arteta's post-match comments on TV when he was trying to defend his earlier comments that he had made regarding the players not giving 100%. I saw an interview that he did, I think it was on Tuesday at a press conference, where he was asked about the players not giving the maximum, and he said that the majority of them had been, and when he was pressed on not all of them, he said yes. So he did make those comments. He did say that as far as he was concerned, not all the players were giving what he thought was 100%. He also said that some of them have reached a level and they can't improve anymore. He made those comments because I saw the press conference. So for him then to come out and say it's been misinterpreted, well, I don't think it was. He's obviously been put under a bit of pressure, maybe inside the club, for those comments, and he's felt the need to defend them. Apparently they had a team meeting before the game where he explained to the players that he didn't mean it like that, and this, that and the other. And you could see that the players out there last night, they did give everything for the cause. You know, they put bodies on the line to win that game, and there's no denying that. But there's no doubt that Arteta did make those comments, and whether they were taken the wrong way or not, he was asked a question, he answered it, and those were the answers that he gave. So I thought his rant after the game seemed a little bit bizarre. Maybe the pressure's getting to him. On all the interviews that I saw actually after the game last night, he seemed very upset, very angry, very annoyed. not the sort of response you'd expect from a manager who's just seen his team win away at Champions League finalists. So I found that very, very strange. Does he know maybe his days are numbered at the club? I'm not really sure. Certainly you could see that the pressure he was under came out last night. He's maybe kept himself pretty cool, hasn't he, through the season, despite all the pressures. And maybe last night it all just came to a head and it boiled over. We'll see what happens over the next week or so. But I was very surprised by that. You did make those comments, Mikel. I'm sorry. I heard those comments, and I can't be the only one who took them in the way that they appeared to have been at that time. So very, very strange for Mikel Arteta. But ultimately, we did get a victory, and that does ease the pressure on him. And it does keep us still within a chance of reaching that Europa Conference League, whatever that is, if indeed we want to be in it. So that's my review there of last night's 1-0 victory here at Stamford Bridge. Of course, it's a good victory for Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. I say a long time since we've won away at Chelsea, and that's twice now in the same season that we've won away at two of those traditional Big Six clubs. So in that sense, we've improved. Away from home, we're doing pretty well as well. Let's face it, that's 6 games now without defeat on the road in the Premier League. And in fact, we've won the last 3 without conceding a goal. The first time we've done that since 2013. So improvements are clear to see away from home. Now it's a matter of transferring that over to our home form and trying to as well be a little bit more on the front foot when we're attacking. Yes, we have improved our defensive record. We still don't really keep that many clean sheets overall, but we have improved defensively, but it's taken away massive chunks of our great attacking play. The football's generally slow and boring, and improvements need to be made, but we need to look at the positives. I say we've had some good away wins this season. We've also won away at Leicester, another team in the top 4. So we've actually won away this season at 3 of the current top 4. So, you can see the improvements away from home, but I say at home we've lost 9 games this season in all competitions, and that is just not good enough. And that is where we need to look at. I say we're not scoring enough goals, and that's another area that needs to improve. But Arteta's maybe showing that he's maybe got something about him, and maybe with 1 or 2 good signings in the summer, particularly in the attacking third of the pitch, maybe we can push on and have a much better season next year. Of course, we've got the great talents of Smith Rowe and Saka. I think we need to use Saka a lot more in the position that's going to suit him. He's been playing wing back recently. People were crying out for him to play left back, wasn't they, when Tierney was injured? I think we can see far more effective at the top end of the pitch. And of course, Smith Rowe, he's the sort of player that you build your attack around, isn't he? So let's hope that we can build on these positives that there has been this season. Not enough of them, but winning away at Chelsea is a positive. We need to build on this as we move forward into next season. Please stay tuned to the channel then. Although there is no game this weekend, I will be doing a show looking back at memories of Arsenal's past appearances in the FA Cup final. Of course, it is Cup final weekend, isn't it, where Chelsea play Leicester. So I want to put a show together with memories of Arsenal's previous visits in FA Cup finals. Of course, we are the most successful team in this competition in history. So I think it's a good opportunity to celebrate that fact, at the end of what's been, I say, a very frustrating and disappointing season. So full details of that will be announced over the next day or so. So please stay tuned for that. And then following that, of course, we'll be building up towards the Crystal Palace game next Wednesday before our final game of the season. Thankfully, the season's going to finally be over. It's been a long season, hasn't it? A very difficult season for Arsenal. So, and that'll be coming up next week. So loads coming up on the channel. I also will be looking at more great historic moments for the club as well, trophies that we've won, and maybe some not so good times as well. I think it's important to get that balance. Arsenal are a big club. We've had a lot of success, but we've also had some hard times, and we can't just ignore those as well. So I'm going to be looking at some of that stuff over the next few weeks, and obviously over the summer as well, as we move towards the Euros, and also of course the transfer window, which could be quite exciting. So loads coming up on the channel. If you haven't done so already, please get the subscribe button down in the corner there. It's free of charge. It does help the channel reach a larger audience. If you've enjoyed this video, if you enjoy what I do, please give the video a like as well. Please share the content around and put your comments in the box, what you made of it last night, the team lineup, the performance, the victory, and also I say Arteta's comments as well. Please just drop your thoughts on that in the box below. I will try to reply to as many as I can. Please stay tuned to the channel. Loads of great stuff coming up, as I said. Please subscribe, like and share. And in the meantime, of course, as always, following finally a victory here at Stamford Bridge. What a great night it was. Come on, you Gunners!